Did the referees just rob the Pistons out of a huge playoff win? In one of the most wildest endings of the playoffs so far, the Knicks survived the Pistons, but it didn't come without controversy. Today we are breaking down exactly what happened, why fans are furious, and whether the NBA got it wrong. Let's get into the video. You guys enjoy sports related content, all I ask is that you guys hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a single post. The Knicks and Pistons battled in Game 4 with everything on the line. It was a defensive slugfest, which led to the game being very low scoring and high pressure defense on both sides. The Pistons magically clawed back late in the ball game, setting up a final possession that could have swung the series momentum to 2-2. The Knicks were up 94-93, but what happened in the last possession had everybody talking, including Tim Hardaway, who said, "You guys saw it, blatant." Now, the Pistons did have a good third quarter as they had 28 points compared to the Knicks 14. But in the fourth quarter is where the collapse happened. So you really can't blame the refs entirely for the loss, especially when you're struggling to guard Jalen Brunson and he had 32 points, 5 rebounds, and 11 assists. And the problem with this is that Jalen Brunson has averaged 33 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds in the 4 games versus the Pistons this season in the Eastern Conference. So you can't really blame the refs because you guys are struggling to guard Jalen Brunson. And yes, he's good, but you're also letting Karl-Anthony Towns drop 27 points. Now, this was a game that the Pistons needed to win because Karl-Anthony Towns was in foul trouble as well. And Mikal Bridges had 8 points. He was 3 for 12 from the field. He was 2 for 6 from downtown, and he didn't have his best game. When you having struggles from Bridges and OG Anunoby, these are games that the Pistons have to take advantage of because it won't happen too often. Now, even though the Pistons were at home, the refs were not on their side. This play right here, I couldn't tell if this hit Cade in the knee or if Josh Hart got a hand in there and deflected it out. It's kind of hard because it's Bridges and Hart there. But let's go ahead and talk about the last play where Cade misses and everybody's fighting for the rebound. Shout out to Tobias Harris for not giving up on the play. And Tim Hardaway tries to go for the 3 and gets fouled. Now, that probably didn't look like a foul, but when you watch this up close, like, come on, man. Josh Hart is literally in the shooter's landing area. This was supposed to be called a foul. And did Tim Hardaway Jr. try to foul bait a little bit? Yes. But come on, you can't tell me that's not a foul. If the video didn't show you enough proof, just look at this screenshot right here and look at how Josh Hart is fouling him, bro. Like, he's all on the side of him. He's all in his landing area. And the NBA needs to do something about this because not only was this a foul, but this is also a dangerous play. Now, I love a good defensive and physical game, but a play like this can get somebody seriously injured. Now, what if Tim Hardaway Jr. would have landed funny and he would have been like Kawhi Leonard when Zaza did that dirty shit? You get what I'm saying? Like, the NBA got to crack down on this because this is not cool, bro. Now, I even went to the NBA rulebook on this. It says when a defender fouls a player that is shooting the ball, that is called a shooting foul, and free throws are given to the player that was fouled. If the shooter makes the shot while being fouled, they receive 1 free throw in addition to the basket counted. So, of course, Tim Hardaway Jr. didn't make the basket, but this was indeed a shooting foul. And we also can see that Tim Hardaway Jr. is shooting in an upward motion, so this was definitely a foul. Now, hours after the game is over, the referees admit in plain sight that this was an error and that this was actually a foul call for Tim Hardaway Jr. Now, here goes the ref report. Now, this was released again hours after the game was over. The pool report on the non-call on Tim Hardaway Jr.'s shot in the final seconds of today's New York at Detroit game. The pool report interview was conducted by Cody Davis, aka Detroit News, with crew chief David Guthrie following today's Knicks and Pistons game. So the Detroit media asked, "What did you see on that last series, and why wasn't there a foul called on Tim Hardaway Jr.'s 3-point attempt?" David Guthrie goes on to answer and says, "During live play, it was just that Josh Hart made a legal defensive play. After post-game review, we observed that Hart makes body contact that is more than marginal to Hardaway Jr. and a foul should have been called. Now, if you call that foul, Detroit makes the free throws. Detroit ties the series at 2-2. But now, since you didn't call the foul, New York absolutely gets bailed out with a win that they did not deserve, and they even played worse than the Pistons as well. And now they're up 3-1 in the series. Now, JB Bickerstaff, the Pistons coach, didn't like this at all, and he even went to the media after the game to address his thoughts on the no call.
I don't know any other way around it. There's contact on his jump shot. The guy leaves his feet. He's at Timmy's mercy. And I repeat, there's contact on his jump shot.
This NBA fan right here was upset. He said, useless. Every last play of a one-possession game should automatically be reviewed, especially in the playoffs. Now, this fan said this is herd mentality. The NBA literally changed rules on this play. Hart jumped forward sideways and was not in THJ's shooting space. THJ leaned into Hart, who was in the air, and then proceeded to shoot it, trying to draw the foul. It was a good no call, especially in that sequence. The problem with this is that the league is too inconsistent with foul calls. Because look at this clip with Jalen Brunson. Watch how Jalen Brunson hits the step back, right? And then Asar Thompson jumps, but he jumps away from Brunson, but Brunson leans into him, and this is called a shooting foul, which I don't think is a foul. So Asar wasn't even in his landing area, and Brunson flops and gets rewarded for a foul. Now I'm going to play Josh Hart's point of view on the whole foul incident in this clip right here.
Did I make contact with him? Yeah, I made contact with him. Was it legal? I don't know.
So I'm going to go ahead and give my honest opinion on the whole situation. And this proves to me that the NBA is just rigged and scripted as always. Because why would you admit that it was a foul after the game is over? Because it's not like you can change the outcome. And you have to think about it like this. If the Knicks win the series, that would be good for the NBA because not only will more fans watch, but they will make more money because of the Knicks being a bigger market team. But if the Pistons win the series, it wouldn't be good for the NBA because the Pistons aren't a big market team. The Pistons haven't been to the playoffs in 2008. So the NBA is just doing what's going to get ratings, clicks, and views. And if the Knicks advance in the next round, they know they'll get money off it, which is why I feel like it's scripted. And this is not the first time the NBA has rigged or done something very scripted. For example, Luka Doncic got ejected for talking trash to a fan on the April 8th game when the Lakers played the OKC Thunder. And then hours later, the NBA rescinds the technical foul and admits that Luka Doncic should have never got a technical to begin with, which doesn't make sense. Now, this was interesting that they did that to Luka because Jokic had a 41-point triple-double and they ended up ejecting Luka after he was cooking the Thunder. But it made me realize something. Now, the NBA did this so the Thunder could get a win because the Lakers had beat them previously and blown them out. But they did this so the Thunder could win, and so this could furthermore boost Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's MVP case. Now, this is just my honest opinion. Could Tim Hardaway Jr. possibly miss 3 free throws? Yes. Could Tim Hardaway Jr. also make 2 free throws and win the game? Also, yes. Or could he make all 3 free throws? Possibly, yes. The thing is, we won't know exactly what would happen because they literally robbed the Pistons out of giving them a chance. At least give the Pistons a chance to get to the free throw line. At least make the right call. I don't mind the Pistons losing, but it at least has to be fair. Call the game fair. Instead of giving Brunson all of these fouls when he flops, give the Pistons the same type of courtesy. And I'll be honest, it's times where the Pistons foul and they don't call it for the Knicks. But the refs have to do a better job with refereeing, bro, because this is getting out of hand and it's really messing up like the people's ability to want to watch these games actually. Now, you know it's a problem when a former NBA player, Charles Barkley, even has questions about NBA officials after the missed call. He's even saying it's the stupidest thing ever. And it honestly is, bro. Because now you just robbed the Pistons out of a whole playoff series because of it. Now, lastly, I'm going to talk about Tim Hardaway Jr.'s free throw percentage because he's only 5 for 7 this season in the playoffs. And he's only missed 2 free throws. So I'm very, very confident if the Pistons had a chance to get free throws from Tim Hardaway Jr. in the clutch, that he probably would have delivered with at least 2 free throws, man. That's just my personal opinion. Now, I support the Pistons because they're my secondary team. But I've tried to make this video without bias. But I genuinely feel like the Pistons got robbed 100%. And I'm pretty sure it's Knicks fans that feel the same way. In conclusion, no team, regardless of how big or how small their market is, deserves to lose a playoff series because of refs. It is not fair. And in final possessions, it should be able to be a coach's challenge on no calls always, bro. Because there's no reason why the refs are determining a playoff series, bro. And now we're going to look at this series down the line, and then we're going to ask ourselves, did the Knicks really deserve to go to the next round? Or did the Pistons actually deserve to go? Because I don't understand how a team outplays another team but gets bailed out and rewarded for bad defense. It just does not make sense to me. But let me know you guys' thoughts and comments down below in the comment section. Do you think I'm overreacting? Was it just good playoff defense? Or did Tim Hardaway Jr. jump into Josh Hart? I just think, bro, if you're going to give Jalen Brunson all of these foul calls, you have to give the Pistons the same type of courtesy. But I don't want to make this video too long. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on the post notifications if you're new for daily sports content. And I'm out. Peace.